Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Esports. My name is Murph. I'm joined with Sky, and we're bringing you some epic Overwatch night. Starting off the night, Rift versus Glitch. This is what was supposed to be the last week of the regular season. Will be the second before last due to Week 1's cancellation, which will be filling in, I believe, next week. So, we're getting down to the final bits. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. We got Riff against Glitch today, so we do have those teams that are kind of in the middle of the road. Not quite the number one teams here, but I think Riff is looking for their first win on the season. Extremely strong showings in previous weeks. Really close matches, but.
Yeah, absolutely. Rift showing up, they're the sort of underdogs this season. We've talked about this before. They have the most rookies, and they're sort of piecing their stuff together, but they're looking stronger and stronger and stronger every single week. So it'll be interesting to see what they're able to do against the rank 3 Glitch, who are currently 3-2 in the season. With that being said, if we take a look at both these rosters here, I am a really big fan of in previous seasons of Quest and Dylan on Riff. They're very high level players. Quest filled in every role last season as a fill. Anytime it was needed, he filled in and he did great on it. Dylan has always been a star player. Started off as Ball. Started off as the you could say the lazy titan of the league way back in the day, and has since moved on to support and has done a fantastic job, especially in Baptiste. We noted, I believe, last week when they swapped over to that Baptiste, they looked really strong. So let's see if Rift can use their tools to their advantage and take a dub here. Speaking of which, Glitch on the other side look very strong as well. We got Jubiles, we got Zanjamin. Zanjamin going crazy on the Tracer, has been all season. Odd Nugget, Elo Reaper, and Sleepy. I mean, players across the board. I'm kind of surprised they're 3-2.
Yeah. And I do want to mention, last week while they did lose Riff, I remember Dylan specifically was having some crazy Baptiste plays. Quest
Mm-hmm.
was getting in there doing a lot of work, and I do want to say I saw them practicing about half an hour before today's match. They were getting warmed up, and they want to win this, and they're going to put in all their effort. We saw it now that we're already practicing, so they're ready.
I believe it 110%. I mean, there's absolutely no doubt to not, right? Uh, we see these kids really like to play. They really like to come in all the time, so as hard as they can, really just swing that bat and try for the victory. You can feel it sometimes in the screen whenever you get these crazy plays that you'd never see in pro play, right? You'd see like the 1v5 Death Blossom that ends up getting everybody. You see the freezes that get yeeted out that end up catching four things, once a certain point reaches where people would typically be calling team fight ends. No, these are teenagers and they are very hungry for that W, especially against their old pal friends. So that's part of the fun of both, I think, is just watching the chaos unfold. And we are going to be starting in just a minute. So we had to disconnect from one team, so we're going to be just stalling out a little bit. But yeah, I'm very looking forward to this match as we go into Samoa first map.
Yeah, Samoa, one of those newer maps. Still been in the game for quite some time now, but nevertheless, a little bit of a newer map. So,
Mhm.
still always a chance for some unexpected things to go on during there. Some of those points much different than others. You have the volcano point extremely open the right side, and then you do have those similar maps where it's a little similar to Oasis on that sort. So, lots of different play styles depending on which part of the map you're actually going to get for that point.
It is very similar to Oasis. I never really thought about it like that. If you were to take Oasis and cut the height by like a quarter or like 3/4,
Yeah.
um, but it's basically the same principle. You've got the point surrounded by a whole bunch of high ground, of which most of the fighting ends up happening on the high ground because the point is basically a death trap if you stay there. So, you'll see a lot of teams come through their asymmetrical huts, and a lot of the team fighting happening basically in the doors of those huts, because outside of that, you're really just walking into a sort of death trap by staying in that main pit. Um, and this was Mauga's map when he got released, so I'm curious to see if we get to see that again.
Yeah, I know we saw Quest who really likes to play Malga, so maybe a very comfortable pick for him here on when coming into Samoa here.
Yeah, could be super interesting. Now, Mauga, not necessarily the strongest tank at the current moment. I think that title would go to Arisa at the moment, and we've seen a lot of that with the Arisa coming in clutch with the Terra Surges and the Javelins being able to cancel ultimates. We've seen several of those throughout the weeks of Oath, and I think with Quest and Jubiles on the tank line for both these teams, there will be no shortage of um, magic tricks happening on the tank line side of things.
Yeah, 100% going to be some strong tank action. And we do know that Zangerman on that tracer, very dangerous. Quest gonna have to navigate that, make sure to keep his team protected. Not let Tracer slip into the backline, able to pick him off. Make sure that when Tracer comes in, he is paying attention to her and trying to keep her shy away.
Yeah, and I think the two tanks that work really well for that are well, there's plenty, but I think Diva and Winston, both tanks we've seen Quest pick up quite nicely, have played out very, very well against that Tracer. Just a great way to sort of keep that poke away. You know, you're able to move quickly, you're able to leap wherever, you're able to peel for your backline. Particularly Winston's Tesla cannon just does so much consistent damage that the Tracer can't stay in for too long before she's got to blip out, right? So I think that's a very, very good pick. Also, if you are able to get a Sigma Rock and combo that with a nice left click combo, difficult to hit a Tracer with, especially with those blinks and that ability to travel backwards in time. But certainly doable and something we've also seen Quest pick up several times.
Yep. So definitely gonna have to see what they're coming up with.
Mm-hmm. As far as whenever we take a look at the back line, especially with Riff, right? You've got Dylan and Catitude. We talked about Dylan already a little bit. He's a phenomenal Lucio. He's crazy. What we call Reddit Lucio, which just means you're hyperactive, right? You're super aggro. You're in the back lines. You're getting the boobs. You're trying to go for the environmental kills. Dylan loves playing that. But when he's not, Catitude is on the Lucio as well and does a great job at maintaining a completely opposite play style, staying in the back line, trying not to get too aggressive, staying alive for as long as possible. And I think the dichotomy between the two playstyles of supports really adds to Rift's layers. And I think it plays very well into their strategies.
Yep. Yeah, we definitely saw a lot of catitude on that Lucio last week. Dylan opting more for the Moira Baptiste plays, which he did very, very well. Opting to let catitude, which seems more comfortable on that Lucio role.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Speaking of which, also, if we take a look at Rift, I think Agent of Chaos and Nyx, who I believe are the newbies of the group, have been showing up. Like we've seen plays from Nyx, and I remember specifically Agent of Chaos and the Sojourn, getting some crazy pop offs. As far as those overclocks and as far as like looking for those headshots, namely on Colosseo against, I believe it was Cosmic last week, but they're just not able to capture it, and I'm wondering what exactly is the missing piece, right? Especially when we take a look at the glitch team. You already mentioned Zane in the backline with the Tracer. I think is going to be the biggest hurdle for Rift to sort of triumph over.
Initiating match.
Yeah, it looks like we do have the volcano point for the first point. Like I said, you do have that space in the middle that you can use to duck out of and always jump back into the fight. Very interesting to see how some people play around that middle hole.
Absolutely, and we're going to be seeing too. We were just talking about it as well. Zane on that Tracer has got plenty of different pathways to take on this map that are all around corners that give him the room to sort of to force the enemy team to pick a side, basically to shut him down. And we're going to be seeing, of course, him go directly into that while Jubiles takes over the Orisa.
Yeah, we do see Quest go in for that Malgo, which is very comfortable on, pretty standard comp coming out from Riff on the side of there. You got Nyx on the Mei, Agent of Chaos on that Soldier, and then Dylan going for the Lucio.
We do still have a disconnect on the side of Riff, I believe. But as we take a look at this, yes, quest on the Mauga. I think the Mauga works pretty well against the Odd Nugget Soldier and the Zanjamin Tracer. You light them on fire, they're not really going to be applying too much pressure, right? If Quest can get enough spread fire onto Zanjamin especially and force out those recalls early, we could be seeing a lot of really good things.
Yeah, Odd Nugget just playing back, gets that chip damage in.
Oh, what a beautiful wall, separating Jubiles from the rest of their team, and that's going to be an amazing play coming up the side of Rift, as they're, you know, might be down a player, but they're still holding on strong. They've evened it up, and they're going to capture the point first.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better, you know, just incredible wall from Nyx. It evens out the numbers, and, you know, that's what you have to do now. When you're down a player, you have to play a little bit more aggressive than you normally would, because you have to take those risks to try to get the side back over to your favor.
You know, I saw a stat recently earlier today that the team that gets the first pick has an 80% chance of winning the team fight. And if they're able to continue playing that aggressively, if they're able to keep shutting this down, they're going to have a good chance at maintaining hold. Now, Jubilee does play on Quest and Agent of Chaos. That Fortify against the Mauga does really, really well at shutting down the healing capabilities of the Orisa. We see a nice stall come out here from the side of Rift as they hold on strong. Dylan on that Lucio just dancing around the point. Nyx does eventually fall to Odd Nugget. But look at this, they're at 38% and counting here, and they're still going strong. Quest supposed to be back on point. They do not get the point flip. The sleep dart is there, but he does get waken up pretty quickly. Quest does eventually fall, and the point flips over to Glitch.
Yeah, once that anti kind of gets on Quest, there's not too much he can do there. You know, without a Kiriko to cleanse that, he kind of just has to fall back, and if they continue to aggressive, it's really hard for him to get out of there.
15% and counting. Dylan has the sound barrier, which is not affected by the anti-nade, I believe. So that could be a very nice thing for Quest to sort of go up against. There's the beat. They're going to play aggressive into the Orisa. They're going to basically shove them in the corner of the wall. Cuts off Jubiles. Gets them down incredibly low. Forces that Fortify out early. Odd Nugget is able to find Agent of Chaos in one-on-one, though, on the sideline. And Jubiles able to pick up Nyx. It's a very nice attempt here from the side of Rift. They're just not able to close it out. And that will be 40% and counting here now for the side of Glitch as they're going to be cleaning up.
Yeah, and Dylan just bounced around on that Lucio, trying to just, you know, get a little pressure, maybe bait out some more of their cooldowns while he can, but making sure at most he stays alive, going back to Taxi, the Quest back to the point.
Jubile's holding the fort. Look at the damage coming in already, especially for Agent and Chaos there on the Soldier, who has attack visor coming up. 3 ults actually.
Yeah,
there's the
freeze.
I don't think it was able to pick up anybody, but it was able to separate Jubilee. Nyx able to pick up LO Reaper actually off that freeze. Attack visor there to clean up from Odd Nugget to try to hold on to the multiple. Quest gets down low. Does not have any of the cooldowns, but it's just Jubilee standing on the point right now. Dylan's able to find Sleepy Tiger in the back line, and it's a 1v2 right now. 2v2. It's just a Soldier versus Dylan right now. On the point, I believe he's also got Agent of Chaos there as well. So with the two of them, they should be able to clean this one up and maintain hold. 43% and counting here. They're doing a great job, actually.
Yeah, they are. Agent of Chaos does pop that visor, though. I don't know if that was a misclick or if he was trying to stagger Odd Nugget there. Lucio chasing him down.
Yeah, it was a brutal hunt from Dylan. I mean, he knows what he's doing on that Reddit Lucio. I mentioned it before. Look at that nice move. You're gonna get the wall off for Jubilee. Gonna get down extremely low. They're not gonna be able to kill him. The Terror Surge is there, so is the sound barrier, but the nice cage pipe from Quest. I think that could have been basically key. Jubilee's able to pick up Dylan with that Terror Surge, and Quest fighting for his life will eventually fall. But another great wall, along with LO Reaper with that Nano Lucio actually gonna be going into the backline. Agent of Chaos taking so much damage from both supports who win that 2v1 basically, while Nyx was holding on with that Iceberg. Now Dylan back again. The stall is very, very nice. Nyx hiding for their lives. Oh, the point does get flipped though. The sound barrier comes through. They're not able to find anybody. They get Sleepy Tiger down to 1 HP. Beautiful coordination here from the side of Rift. And they've evened it up once again. Now, remaining members are staying alive. Nyx does get down low, but so does LO Reaper, and they get traded out. Attack visor now for the side of Rift is going to be applying so much FPS pressure that's going to force Glitch off the point. They're going to be retreating, and now it's 87% and counting here. This is the last fight.
Yeah, and this is a very, very winnable fight. You know, you do have that May ult about to come out.
They pick off Odd Nugget. All you have to do is watch out for Zane's pulse bomb here in the backline. We know how brutal he can be with that, but it's 99% and counting here. Can anybody touch? Somebody does. Jubilee is maintaining pressure, but overtime is ticking down. Now the rest of Glitch are going to be forced to sort of trickle into the point. slowly but surely they're able to pick up Elo Reaper.
Yeah, and
I
Nyx has
guess
that
they
Blizzard coming out now. They
down.
can't get on the point, but if they get off, it's
Oh my goodness, what a freeze, what a meltdown from Jubles. Sleeping Tiger going to be the last one remaining. Overtime is ticking, and that will be Rift taking. Oh, nice, but spoke too soon. A nugget. That's going to be it.
wow.
Score 1-0.
I think Zane sat out there just for a second to sort of show the sportsmanlike conduct. But I think that was a very good match considering that Riff they had that such coordination, right, with Dylan on Lucio and you had Nyx on the Mei as well, finding every single backline target they could to hold on.
Yeah, and also Nyx getting some incredible walls up that allowed for picks. That first fight, really crucial fight to win.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be
The objective.
okay. We're gonna be going into a pause. Is We're gonna be taking a look at just a few things, but don't worry. Um, I think Riff have shown a lot of good promise. I think with that warm up match they did the 30 minutes beforehand, um, that um, it's come up very well for Riff as far as maintaining that pressure, always finding somebody to target. The walls, especially from Nyx, I think the Mei was an excellent choice here, and not something that I think we've seen from them in previous weeks, but certainly something that has shown up very high in this match.
Yeah, and as I was saying, I just want to go back to that first wall coming up from Nyx, allowing that pick on the Jubals there. That 40% they got really mattered. Like that pretty much won the fight for them. That just those small little plays that make it one pick make such a huge difference, allowed them to take half the point, take a huge lead, and that came back in the end to really matter. And you could probably go as far to say is that single play at the start won them that point.
Uh, yeah, I would 110% agree. We saw it pop off immediately on the first fight, like you said. It's able to shut off Jubals. It's able to separate them from Sleepy Tiger and from Elo Reaper, which means no speed out, which means no nano, which means no anti nade. And then as if they're able to capitalize on the kill from Jubals, the Orisa, who's such a strong character and has such a strong point presence, um, faltering like that, or being crumbled down by the hands of Riff in this mighty conquest that is the Maywall. I think is a genius strategy, and if Riff is able to continue executing that in this match, I think they will be doing a phenomenal job as we continue forward.
Yeah, because we do have Catitude back in the game, gonna have that everyone ready for that fifth point, and we'll have to see if Dylan continues to play on that Lucio or opts to hand it over to Catitude. Dylan doing really good on the Lucio, so it's gonna be very interesting to see what route they opt to go on here.
Yeah, I don't it'll be good either way. I think Dylan can hold a very large litany of support heroes. As we said, we saw him in the Moira, we saw him in the Baptiste, playing a super aggressive style, trying to get into the backline, trying to find those picks. So it wouldn't surprise me if Catitude does pick back up the Lucio, because I think Dylan has a very large and very lethal variety that it doesn't really matter what he's playing. He's always going to have a spot in the team.
Yeah,
More
exactly.
so to say, he's always going to be lethal.
Yeah, I mean, as we saw on the BAP on the Moira last week, getting huge like 3Ks to take team fights. So whatever he does, very contributional to the team. Not to short any of the other people. The combination that he has with Nyx, with Quest, with Agent of Chaos, really synergizes incredibly well. He's getting them in there, he's getting them out, taxing them when he needs to. You saw him getting them back to spawn, and Quest making use of that, knowing that he has Dylan on his back and is able to play aggressively, push into the Orisa and try to take her down.
Yeah, 110%. And I think if Riff continues playing first, I think if they're able to continue getting that initiative, like we mentioned beforehand, in the 4v5 situation, um, we were taking a look at that 4v5 situation, the times when Rift won was the time when they made the first play, when they were able to get the first pick, whenever they were to turn the tides despite the numbers disadvantage. And I think they could certainly continue playing that sort of aggressive style. Attitude opting for the Moira.
Yeah, the Moira I think can work very well here. You know, can apply pressure to Zangeman. You know, if you can't get out, it's very easy to hit her.
What an anti-net on a quest, the wall, not quite doing enough to separate Jubals from the rest of their team. Zangeman's able to pick them down. Nyx trying to stall on as long as possible, but will eventually end up falling here to Jubals as Zane dives in the backline, able to pick up Agent of Chaos, and Catitude falls. That is going to be a full fight win for the side of Glitch, as Riff headed back to spawn.
Yeah, Zangeman playing a little bit of a ratty spot. We'll have to see if it clears them out. Probably gonna try to fire out that pulse bomb and see if he can pick one off.
I think they're looking for him too. I think they know he might be looking in the backline. The wall. Zangeman's able to pick up Agent of Chaos in the backline with a very nice one clip, I believe. Has the pulse bomb now available if anybody has the chance of stabilizing. It's going to be Nyx here on that May. Quest does eventually fall. The stick is on the Nyx. Stick picks up Dylan as well. It's just Catitude remaining on point, and Zane gets a 4K. Absolutely massive. 36% in counting here.
Yeah, didn't notice, but that pulse bomb did manage to get two stuck to the May, but also managing to pick up Dylan as well. I think the big thing for Riff is making sure that they're, you know, counting that Ana. And it seems like Overwatch itself might be having some issues right now.
Yeah, for just a little bit. You know, welcome to the business of live gaming. Sometimes things happen, and I think in this case, it's just the game itself. Just Overwatch being kind of a little bit of a poo-poo head. So, excuse my potty language, but I think thank you, Will. Thank you. He laughed at that. I appreciate that. I'll be here all week.
Oh, and it seems like everyone. Yeah.
Yep. Everyone just hard disconnected. So I don't know if we're doing just a restarting of the game or if the servers are actually dying. We'll see if Will gets kicked. Then we'll really know.
Yeah, if Will gets kicked, we know something's definitely up. And seems like his message isn't going through right away.
Uh-oh.
Which is not a good sign.
Oh, yeah, that's Mayday. All right. So hopefully we'll be getting right back into things. I think now would be a good time to call for a break. We will swing back in just to let you know how things are going. But for now, I think it looks like that Overwatch is a little stuck. So don't go away. We'll be back in probably, I'm going to give it 10 to 15 minutes with a little bit of update and just see where we're all at. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I apologize for the delay. Overwatch decided to have a little bit of a hiccup there, but we are back. We are ready to rumble. We're going to be resuming right where we left off in Samoa. It's going to be Riff versus Glitch. Again, Riff is up a map on Samoa, um, and we're just going to be taking it from the top. So, with all that being said, if we take a look at the matches, it was right. Riff was able to take the first map, I believe, and Glitch looking strong, but Nyx's main wall is causing some havoc in the overall game.
Can you guys hear me? Oh.
So, with that being said, looks like we're getting everybody back in and ready to roll. Sky, any other closing thoughts as we look at the matches?
My only thought
far?
is it would be quite interesting if we do somehow get that same point of volcano on the map. Would be interesting to see.
I think Will's trying to get it back over to the pit.
Yeah,
I could be wrong though, but we'll see.
we shall
Would be
see.
interesting though to see the full rematch on the volcano.
Welcome to Samoa.
Oh, not the wrong map. So we'll be waiting just a little bit longer. But I do agree. I think I'm curious to see how the dynamics swap now that Riff has a full team ready to rumble. I think we saw beforehand Catitude get over the Moira and Dylan's over to Lucia, so they seem pretty interchangeable. We'll just have to wait and see exactly what they want to play.
Yeah, we will have to see if they do opt to stay on their initial comp or do switch Catitude over onto that Lucio.
Mm-hmm. Okay, looks like we are actually going to be sticking to. I don't know what this one's called particularly. It's actually one of my favorite points of Samoa, if I'm going to be entirely honest. But what makes it so cool, I think, is again with a lot of Samoa maps, you have a little bit of high ground surrounded the point. Except for this one, you it's basically a point fight. This map particularly reminds me the most of Oasis,
Yeah,
particularly the one with the jump pads.
yeah, this one is definitely the one that I think does bring a reminiscence of Oasis. Very similar middle point, except a bit on the smaller side, not as quite as much space to work with. But the high ground on the one side, as you said, that middle post kind of an area you have to fight around, play around a little bit. So with still with the tunnel in the middle, so very very similar core.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree. I think realistically, that control of the high ground that is kind of difficult to get to on this map. I feel like is very key. If you're able to maintain control of that high ground, you've got a clear open shot of the point, and are able to basically just rain down fire, especially if you're a Hanzo or a soldier or any sort of hit scan slash ranged character. Speaking of which, we're going to be seeing Odd Nugget pull out the Widow here. Maybe stick to that.
Yeah, it would be interesting to play some off angles, and there's a lot of off angles you can play on this map. You have the high ground, you have the opposite side of the high ground. You can play far back from your spawn. There's a lot of angles you can play from with the Widow, which we'll have to keep instead of Rift guessing where those shots are going to be coming from.
Exactly. I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to shut down the Dylan Lucio with that speed boost as well. So we're going to be seeing Quest and Nyx once again back on to the same composition that won them the first map. So anti-nade used, and that's going to be a nice collapse there from the side of Rift as they just fall on Sleepy Tiger. Beautiful coordination there with that Lucio speed boost. We see Zane in the back line spraying down a little bit of damage, trying not to get picked off too much. Point is being contested here. Zane is poking him just a little bit, but does manage to get out. And Riff will take the first point capture. Nyx, nice headshot on Nugget.
Yeah, the Widow not appearing to be working quite as they wanted to, not able to get that initial pick. We'll have to see if Odd Negative nope, switches back to his soldier, which is very comfortable on.
Zane picks up Agent of Chaos right as Rift moves in. It's a very prime time for that Tracer to strike, but let's go take out Sleepy Tiger. I don't know if the trade's really going to go their way, considering Dylan's the only one remaining on the point. He's going to be stalling out along with Nyx on that nade. The pulse bomb misses. Jubilos gets down low. Dylan doing quite a bit of damage, but now standing all alone, will eventually disengage. Oh, actually continue protesting. I am completely missing my call here. Yep. Agent of Chaos does get picked up by Odd Nugget on the sideline here. But look at this. The stall is still happening.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really nice point for Lucy to be able to stall that. You have that full pillar around the middle that you can constantly just bounce off those walls. You have the outside ring where it really just works perfectly for Lucy.
Look at that. Dylan getting out so low, he's going to have to retreat here, and Quest does eventually fall because he doesn't have the ability to disengage like Dylan does. Benjamin in the back line putting out so much pressure as Jubal is able to get the Terror Surge on to Agent of Chaos. What tracking onto Dylan? That's going to clean that up at 64% and counting here for the side of Rift. Glitch back on foot.
Yeah, but still 64% on the board is nothing to be ashamed of. Dylan doing a great job stalling out for so long, and at the same time being able to get that damage out so he can build up his ult now out of his sound barrier.
Nice. I don't know exactly what happened there, but Agent of Chaos is going to pick up LL Reaper, and with that, it's going to be evening up the fight. Zaidman does have this pulse bomb into the back line. They're going to have to be seeing if he's able to stick anybody. He is spraying down Agent of Chaos. We're looking for the pulse bomb. The sound barrier comes in for the side of Dylan, basically wasting that pulse bomb, actually not getting any value for it. And look at the damage here coming on the Jubiles. It's beautifully well done, beautifully executed. The W press from Rift. They're playing first. They're playing like a unit. This is a lot of really solid teamwork we're seeing from them here. And at 40, and they're going to be getting that recapture.
Yeah, the Maywall is doing a great job of isolating Risa from the other team, and Quest making sure to follow that up, dealing that high damage out.
Agent of Chaos, I think these are looking to build up this tag launcher relatively quickly. You're gonna be looking to see if they are able to take advantage of the high ground with it as well. Dylan does get anti and stunned, but not found. Somehow he's able to escape, and Nyx basically cuts off the attacker from the rest of their team, including their tank. They do eventually take out Quest. There's a very nice clip. Able to pick up Agent of Chaos as well. Jubiles gets down incredibly low. The focus fire is insane. Dylan does take out Jubiles, and now the freeze comes through. Gonna be CCing everybody away. The pulse bomb does miss. It's Dylan versus. It's a 1v2 on the point right now as Nyx falls. 1v3 that it's going to be. Dylan getting down incredibly low. Will eventually be found. It's going to be a point flip now as overtime is sticking strong. Rift, they only have to win one more fight before they take the match.
Yeah, and Quest does
fight.
put that cage fight down.
Wait a minute. Oh, I actually thought they were going to CC, but look, the cage. It's able to capture Zane. That's huge. Nyx picks up LOL.
Yeah, cage fight really isolates the Tracer, and I actually don't know if Tracer's able to recall out of that cage fight. I'm assuming she can, but if she hasn't already used on cooldown, now it's able to escape.
Oh my goodness, it's so close. Dylan, it's Dylan versus Jubiles right now. Wants to race for the backline to get there. The attack visor comes through. It's going to be spraying into the backline wherever they can find it. On top of damage to Jubiles. Agent of Chaos not going to be able to quite find anybody, and Zane is back in the backline. This is ridiculous. Overtime is holding strong. Dylan is down to 1 HP. It doesn't get to the door, and that hold will fall eventually. Quest probably going to get 8 up here as they go for a quick reset.
Yeah, we're able to recapture there for a little bit, though, to stall that timer from actually getting ticks on the side of Glitch.
Zane with the pulse bomb, hiding in a corner, getting ready to assassinate.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they are able to sniff him out, but it looks like they aren't.
Oh, Agent Chaos able to pick up LO Reaper, who I think went in there to go with Zane to sort of find anybody. Pulse bomb here. Not able to. Oh, it's able to find up Agent of Chaos. I think he got the stick. Odd Nugget also finds Quest and the sound barrier. Although a good idea from Dylan, comes in just a little bit too late. Nyx falls and 85% counting your Rift. They've got to group up. They've got one more fight if they're quick enough.
Yeah, indeed, but we'll have that nano visor coming out, extremely deadly from the side of Glitch. Going to be extremely hard to navigate without that sound barrier protection from Dylan.
They are able to touch. Onaga does activate the attack visor and immediately finds Digital Chaos. Nyx falls as well. It's a 2v3 on the 2v5 on the point right now. Onaga finds the third. It's just Quest trying to stay alive for as long as possible. Overtime is ticking, is holding strong. No adaptive shield available. Overtime now faltering, and that will be Glitch somehow making a comeback here from the 99% hold that Riff had for so long.
Yeah, really great hold coming out.
0-1.
50-50. Hey!
Hey, we got the right map. There we go. Beautiful. So we're gonna be seeing all 3 points of Samoa, which can I just say in general is a very beautiful map. I like a lot of green. Green's a good color.
Uh-oh.
So, 2 seconds remaining here as Dylan once again zooming Riff out on this Lucio. That's been working out incredibly well for them.
Yeah, getting to that point first, winning that first fight interaction, really what Rift needs here to do, as they've done the previous 2 points.
Look at the damage going through here for the side of Glitch though. So much distance, pressure, and Quest and Agent of Chaos fall before they're really able to take advantage of that wall.
Oh,
Dylan gets
in the
caught,
main wall,
and that's just gonna
a
be,
little sabotage going on for Dylan.
I mean, yeah, but like, it would have ended up the same way, I think, anyways. I mean, yeah, Dylan wouldn't be alive, but
not able to escape with his life. He said, "Please, please, let me out," but it was not his day. Now, this will mean they get to respawn as a team, though.
This is true. Oh, we've got some volume cutting in and out on my end. Don't know if you're there, Scott. There we go. 22% and counting here for the side of Glitch. I think they continue holding strong. The damage going through for the side of Nyx and Quest is just so much. How can you keep this man alive with just Lucio? Dylan on the backline though finds 2. Sleepy and Jewels both fall, and now it's actually going the way of Rift. This Reddit Lucio is insane. Gets a nice click over the stick. Oh, and Benjamin picks up Nyx and Dylan. That's gonna be basically it. Agent of Chaos gonna do a very smart retreat here. Wait, gonna try to pressure them out a little bit.
Yeah.
Actually applying point pressure.
Yeah, not gonna be able to capture it.
But now with the rest of the team and the anti-nade forced out there for the side of Quest now going to be burned. It's just Jubilis who's all alone. It was able to mow down Agent of Chaos, however, and Quest does eventually fall as well. Nyx finds Sleepy. They're trying so hard to take out the backline. I think it's a really smart play from the side of Rift, but it's just not enough. Too much pressure coming in from Zane and Oddnugget at the distance to allow them to close that distance.
Yeah, Zane's been doing the classic little rat plays, you know, trying to play in the back, keep them on their toes. Dylan with that beat available, gonna allow himself to tax Quest into that fight, try to pick up huge damage. And
Dylan knew. I don't know how he knew, but he had the sixth sense. He just clicks Zane in the head.
Yeah,
and the beat comes
gets
through.
Assassinated.
The beat in response to the the Terror Surge is going to basically nullify that, as well as the freeze, finding the remaining backline members. Sleepy Tiger does eventually fall. Quest does fall eventually to Oddnugget's pressure, but the high ground now, the high ground squishies, they're exposed, and it's just Oddnugget basically standing alone as Dylan gets down low. Does not get found though, and they're able to get the point flip now, so at least they bought themselves some time. Zangerman versus Nyx. Zangerman falls.
Yeah, and time they need. Glitch 98% now. It'll be up to be a flawless run from Rift coming out, but very doable. Quest now on that ball to try to get that point control. Gonna have to try to fire off those mines so we can negate some of the area.
That you will have to build that up super quick if you want that. 31% and counting here. Zangerman is hunting down Dylan. He knows he's the problem child. He knows he's the one who's applying so much pressure, and he's hunting for him. Look at this. It's a 1v1 right now between two absolutely goated players. Dylan's staying safe. He knows he's being hunted right now. He knows he's getting down low. He does eventually fall without the pulse bomb being necessary. Zangerman uses the pulse bomb, sticks on Nyx, forces out the iceberg cooldown, and it's a 1v1 between the Tracer and the Mei. Mei, a very good counter to that to that Tracer, but Oddnugget with that attack laser on the high ground just rains down the fire. 99% in counting here. I don't know if anybody's gonna be able to touch. Dylan will, of course he will.
Touch, which may give time for Quest to come back.
he's just so good at cycling between that speed and that healing. The ball is back. The ball is back.
Yeah, and Agent of Chaos is going to be building up a Death Blossom here. If he's able to get that up, could be fight winning.
Will have to stay alive long enough to do it, but he's at 99% counting. Can he get it off? No, he cannot. Oddog is able to take him down just in time. Quest eventually falls, and that will be Glitch by the skin of their teeth taking that map.
Yeah, incredibly close. If he had been able to hit that Q button, could have been game winning. We do see a play of the game coming up from that Lucio though, who is incredibly powerful.
Yeah, the wall cuts off Q-Bulls, basically eating away at the nano. The damage just comes through so strong, and they're able to get through that. Again, this Nyx Dylan combo with that Lucio speed, with that has just been astronomically good, and I'm glad we're getting to see some of Rift's strategies finally pay off here. Even with some disadvantages, Rift is showing up incredibly strong here as we go into the second map.
And going to the second map, going to that hybrid, you'll have to see what map pick Rift wants to go for. See which one they're confident on here. You know, Quest on that Malga, trying to think about, you know, which maps you prefer to have Malga on.
Yeah, I think with Malga, you're really wanting to look down at anything that holds a choke point down, and that you're able to hide around corners enough to where you can get that cardiac surge back up. So I'm thinking probably King's Row would be a good one for them, as well as Midtown Defense.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Midtown really good. Blizzard World not going to be a super strong map for Malga here. You know, Hollywood also not such a great map for Malga here. But Kings Row, you know, very low ground map for the most part. For the most part, most of those grounds occur on the low ground. Maybe one person playing that off angle on some higher ground there. In Midtown, pretty much the same. Whereas for Hollywood Blizzard World, you have those places where high ground is such a monumental positioning for that map, where if you don't have control of that high ground.
Yeah, looks like we will be going into King's Row. As you mentioned, I think that high ground doesn't really play well into the Malga strat. I think it you know, he lacks a lot of verticality. He's really good at staying in one spot and not taking damage from afar. King's Row, I think, is going to be a perfect choice for Rift here, as they're going to be looking to, again, hold down the fort with that Malga. Or I'm almost curious to see if we can't get a Roadhog at a quest.
Yeah, I would love to see Roadhog come out. Roadhog, when used properly, navigating around Orisa's cooldowns, if he's able to get her out of position with that hook, can be extremely strong when they focus fire on that Orisa, pulling her around that first choke point, around that wall, separating her from her supports. Combined with that Mei, allowing her for no escape, it could be an extremely deadly combination.
Yeah, whole hog hook, and then the wall comes up. I also like the ability that hog presents as a tank. He's the only one who really has a one-shot combo as far as taking out those squishies, those backlines, right? So you put down the mine, you hook them in, you left click them in melee, and they just get deleted, right? It's a very powerful combination. I think really Malga's biggest fear is that anti-nade that Sleepy has been carrying around this entire game. I think if they're able to whole hog, or I think if they're able to hook in Sleepy and basically make it so that she's got less room to breathe as far as throwing those anti-nades, or as far as being able to use those cooldowns so liberally, it could play out very well here.
Yeah, you really, when you're playing against the Malga, you really want to minimize the effect that an Ana is able to have. For every anti she's able to put on Malga, strongly increases the chance that he's not going to be able to keep himself up with that overheal, with that cardiac arrest.
Yeah, 110%. And I think that was one of the biggest things that was really bothering Quest in that previous match, right? Was just the simple fact that they kept getting anti-nated. And as soon as you do as a Malga, there's not really a whole lot you can do, especially if you're as good as Sleepy is and are able to hold on to that anti-nade until especially during Quest's cardiac ability. You time with the cardiac ability gets no value, and then the Malgish dies. Now Quest hopping over to the Reinhardt, which is very intriguing to me.
Yeah, but Reinhardt, pretty good on King's Row. Some might say, or I feel like a lot might say, King's Row is Reinhardt's best map.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I just think with Jubal's wanting to have gone over to the Risa, I think it would have been a very difficult time for Quest
And
because all the
playing an
cooldowns.
interesting strategy. Looks like they're opting for the crab, and I think we did see the strategy come out from them last week on King's Row as well.
One. Attackers
Yeah, so they're just gonna let Glitch walk in. Not gonna get any
Jubal's
picks. Dylan.
switching from Orisa to Hog could be a last-minute change, but actually works out in the favor of Rift.
Very nice hook coming in there from the side of Jubal's gonna be picking off Dylan with odd nugget, but Agent of Chaos is able to get a nice headshot on Jubal's as well, and basically just delete the Hog off the map. Zane gets picked off by Nyx, which you don't really see a whole lot. That's twice now, by the way, that Zane, of all players, has been bested by a ranged Nyx on the May. We have a Hydra at the casters. We're going to be doing that now, I guess, never mind. Sky is off into the Neverland to find his water, while I am left here to... Okay, there we go. Alright, cool.
I don't know how there's ice in this water. It was in the fridge, but I'm not complaining.
You know, magic. You should probably check out your fridge levels, make sure you're not burning energy. But on that very sound Quest with a very nice hook, followed through with Jubal's. Agent of Chaos and Nyx will eventually fall, and Dylan's the last one remaining. Nice hook, one ticket for Jubal's, catching Dylan mid-air, and that will be cleaning that one up. But 2.5 minutes on the clock here. By the time they're going to capture, I still really like what Rift has done this week.
I really do, yeah. And if they're able to build up that, if Quest is able on Ryan to build up that shatter, you can make a team-winning or team-fight-winning shatters with that. And if he's able to continually cycle that shatter to win the team fights, it could be winnable for the side of Rift here.
Oh, Zane, he picks off 2 Agent of Chaos and Nyx, both supports. Now it's just the Quest left on the point. He's gonna be falling down here, I believe. I believe in the big Reinhardt. I believe in the big German man, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, there it goes. 4.5 minutes, and I love personally the charge into the back line to pin Sleepy. That was my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, getting in there, getting that ult charge with that kill, you do lose that fight, but a kill with Reinhardt does get you a lot of ult charge. Reinhardt can notoriously get up that Earth Shatter pretty quickly. There's times where I'm playing and I swear he just used the Shatter 2 fights.
Zane on that Death Blossom. We've seen him time again on that Reaper. Very nice. Picks off Dylan. Is able to apply so much more damage pressure, basically eliminating Riff, who have multiple ultimates and could come in for a clutch last fight here.
Yeah, Zanjamin, we saw the previous week, an insane Batman Reaper on this point. And we'll have to see if he tries to play that high ground on this final point, and it looks like he is.
Yep, as soon as you say it, he's gonna be diving directly in. Quest is talking about the Jungle Queen, which I really like as well. Trying to pick off any aggressive stragglers. Agent of Chaos versus Zane. The sound barrier from Dylan to keep Agent of Chaos alive. Nyx also has the freeze available to them. There's the coalescence as well. Jubal's and Dylan, Nyx and Dylan eventually fall. Zanjamin picks up 3 in the backline. You can't let that Reaper live. 4 minutes and 40 seconds here on the clock. 2 ultimates available for the side of Rift.
Yeah, 2 really powerful ultimates though. They don't really have something to prevent that Reaper ult from coming out here.
4.5 minutes here. The whole hog. No support ults to eat that whole hog, but there's the freeze. Absolutely massive. Should be able to find 3. That's huge. Agent of Chaos follows up through with the Blossom, so it's going to be running both the ultimates with Zane in the backline. It might be necessary. He's going to be able to escape, but he's got the entire enemy team with the Blossom. Oh my goodness, everybody's so low. Could he do it? Could he find the 3v1 clutch? Yes, he does with the Blossom. 4 minutes on the clock. Nobody's going to be there, and that is going to be a beautiful push from the side of Glitch.
Yeah, really good boot from Dylan there, getting the Reaper away for a short period, but not the Reaper ult just lasting just a little bit too long, dishing out those final hits to everyone who was already so low.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly thought Dylan's boop was gonna save the day. I'm not gonna lie. lie to you. I thought it was ready there. I thought it was going to absolutely annihilate. And then somehow, Zane, in his full Reaper glory, is able to basically um, is able to basically just find all the value, uh, crawl back from a country mile away, and finds their way into a 3K.
Yeah, and have to see if they up for that same comp for attack. Jubal's opting to switch over to the Reinhardt defense. Really able to make use of those 2 walls on the first attack to get some incredible pins down.
Yeah, 110%. I think Jubal's... Go ahead.
Yeah, Sleepy Tiger switching that Lifeweaver. And what you can see from this is probably gonna let Jubal's play a little aggressively here, knowing that he's able to be pulled out at any time, able to really rush in, try to go to the backline like you said you'd love to see, and try to get those kills, knowing he has a get out of jail free card.
I like sleeping on the Lifeweaver here. We don't see it a whole lot. And oh, hello, for hiding in the backline. Might be looking for some picks here in a minute. Quest gets, sorry, Nyx gets down low, is going to be able to survive. Actually picks up Elorifer, who tries to speed out with Jubals in that backline pressure. But look at this. They collapse now. Catitude doesn't actually fall as Zane is able to pick them off. Rift not quite ready for that flank there from Zane. Goes there to pick up Jubals. Quest gets down low. Zane again on that Reaper doing such a good job at staying alive. Sleepy pulling them back as well. Going to be maintaining that distance, negating the pressure that Dylan is putting forward. But Rift maintaining a strong control on the point here.
Yeah, Agent of Chaos going down to Zangerman.
Look at the damage from Odd Nugget. Lasering down with the soldier. The wall is not there in time. Nyx does fall, and it's just going to be Quest remaining on the point with 3 minutes on the clock here. Catitude does fall as well, and Dylan will surely. No, he escapes. He's a
I
ninja.
would never count Dylan out. He's a master of escape. Call him the Houdini of Overwatch because he is getting out of there. He's disappearing.
Speaking of Dylan, he's got the Death Blossom. The Death Blossom is able to pick up Catitude in the backline. No sound barrier in response. Picks up 3. This man is a monster. Finds 4th with Jubal's Fire Strike. That's going to be another reset in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Dylan with that beat ready. If Junker Queen's able to fire up her ult here, could be really strong. Really, the only one who's able to try to negate that is Zangerman with that that Wraith form, allowing him to get rid of that.
Sound barrier there, now going to be picking up 3, but not Nyx. Zangerman's able to pick them up in the backline. You've got to start focusing this Reaper. He cannot be allowed to keep living. Sleepy Tiger's able to pick up Catitude as well. And look at this. Zane's just in. Dylan eventually picks him off, but not before the rest of the remaining members of Rift eventually fall, and it's too late to disengage. Quest does eventually fall. Dylan going to be trying to run for his life. Will eventually fall as well. 1:40 on the clock. Zane, an absolute MVP on this map.
Yeah. Good news is, Quest and Nyx, both of their ults, if Quest is able to try to corral the team of Glitch into a corner, Nyx could have a huge ultimate with that Blizzard.
Yeah, 110%. As we're gonna be going into and seeing, Nyx has the Blizzard, Quest has the anti, but I don't necessarily know if I want to see both of these happen at once. There's too many fights to still go to really be burning ultimates like that. Granted, you do only have to win 1 in order to increase the fight timer. Dylan falls. That's absolutely massive. Agent of Chaos falls as well. Oh no! And the Quest ultimate, Lifeweaver absolutely jukes him out. So now we just have the Nyx freeze available and a minute left.
Yeah, a minute left. Agent of Chaos really gonna have to try to farm up another Death Blossom here, but gonna have to worry. Zangerman with that Death Blossom too, gonna have to make sure they don't get grouped up too far together without having the support ults from Dylan to try to counter.
Huge headshot from Nyx, gonna be finding one with the shatter in the background. It misses! He lands on the bus! That's so unfortunate from Jubals. Oh my goodness. That is absolutely insane, but the TIE fighters are there. Nyx able to pick up Sleepy Tiger. The tree falls, the blossom falls, all the ultimates come through for the side of Glitch as they get down to the last 25 seconds here. And Nyx still has the freeze.
Yeah, Nick's still with that threes. Agent of Chaos still with that ult. So overall, not too bad. I believe 4 ults coming out from the Southern Glitch here, and still gonna have an opportunity to touch here. If they're able to heal up Agent of Chaos and get him to that ultimate, could still be a
Oh my
fight win.
goodness. Oh my goodness, Nyx falls, the freeze isn't there. Agent of Chaos has the Blossom in a second, but there's nobody available. Quest is the last one remaining. Overtime is ticking down. That's just going to be a clean fight win from the side of Glitch, and that will be King's Row going their way as well as the series.
Yeah, Glitch just really shutting down any attempt of an attack there coming out from Rift. But Rift still doing a great job. You know, Lucio's still getting those picks. They still were getting those first picks on the fights, but not quite able to convert them.
Yeah, here we see that Blossom from Zang going to be picking up 2, make that a 3rd, eventually a 4th even, as I think Dylan's the only one to leave. Good games. I think Rift showed a lot of promise actually for what they had what they were trying to pull together this week. I think they had a lot of really good attempts. I think on King's Row they had a very solid chance with 2 ultimates getting ready to come online, but we're just getting shut down by Zanjamin, who was absolutely running King's Row. I think, you know what? Actually, Glitch beat either Cosmic or Rush, one of the two, and I believe it was on King's Row. I just don't think you take Zane on King's Row. I think you just leave that at the door. As we're going to be going into our next set of matches here. It's going to be Ember versus Rush to kick things off once again. We're going to be heading straight into things. Not we're going to be taking a break, I don't think, because we're already a little bit behind. But taking a look at these teams just to start things off. I'm sorry. What did I say? It was Ember versus Rush. That's what I thought. Okay, Ember versus Rush. Rush, they were undefeated until last week when they fought Cosmic. Is this the slip and slide of the Titans? Is Ember going to take another page from Cosmic and find another victory, especially with the absolutely talented players they have in the name of Lazy Titan, Bad YT, Penguin, Medusa, and your favorite Atkin? I'm absolutely
I would not
curious.
rule it out.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Rush, we know, as their name says, like to play a really, really fast play style.
Yep.
So we will have to see how Ember is able to hold up against them.
Yep. I believe it's usually your favorite kid on oh we've got teams sort of mixing, but it's all good. As we get everybody settled into the lobby. There we go. I really like the guy new Xbox Bubba that we've been seeing. I like the Funtime Cold versus with Xbox Bubba. Those two on the support line with, I believe, Funtime Cold playing that Lucio and Xbox Bubba picking up the Ana. I think they really like running in. Carnage is able to play the Diva, the Sigma, the Ramatra even like to literally rush in, pin their enemies against the wall, and fight a good fight. So we're gonna be swinging right into Samoa here. Any thoughts as we get into this?
I think it's really going to come down to, if they're able to deal with Carnage's Ramatra here. I do really, really like Ramatra on the Samoa map. And very strong pick, able to dish out a lot of damage here, a lot of areas that he's able to play around, especially that middle point of that volcano. Ramatra able to duck down into there for some healing, pop back up, the little punch action going on.
Yep. 110%. And we're going to be seeing Gainu picking up that, I was going to say the Reaper, but the Torb is also just as scary. I don't know what they do with Torb, but he is terrifying to 1v1.
Oh, and the Doomfist coming out from Carnage here, going to try to maybe get some environmental kills, trying to knock some people into that volcano, into that lava pit.
Yeah, we saw the Doom, Carnage Doom on a King's Row map not too long ago, or was it, it was Blizzard World, on a Blizzard World map not too long ago. And it was monstrous. I mean, 4-man slams, knocking everybody off the high ground, and that was That was against the Cosmic match, I'm pretty sure, which came down to the wire. But Carnage, an absolutely monstrous Doomfist. They're going to be sticking onto that. It will be interesting.
Yeah, 100%.
As I say that, and then that monologue gets thrown out the window because they went Sigma.
Oh, well. Tank switches from both teams coming out last minute. Gina Medusa, normally he's coming on that Sojourn, but going for the Cass. I think Cass has been really, really strong lately.
Yeah, definitely gonna be able to shut down a few things, right? We're gonna be shutting down Xbox Boba's jumpers. We're gonna be shutting down Funtime Cold's ability to speed away, which I think is the biggest thing for the Cassidy is shutting down that Lucio. If you're able to do that, you get rid of all the ability for the enemy team to retreat, and really just shut down their ability to be mobile. Nice hook there. Seedster is gonna fall. That was beautifully well played from inside of Lazy Titan, who's picking up that hog very nicely.
Yeah, textbook hog hook there.
Your favorite kid picks up Guiding with the anti-nade. And look at the pressure coming out already from the side of Ember, as they're going to be finding the first fight.
Yeah, really good wall there for Bad YT, pushing them back, forcing them to have to wait for the rest of their team to come back. Not too bad for either side.
Hook doesn't get anything, and the Rock is actually able to wreck Lazy Titan's world. That's crazy. They're going to be just collapsing into that. Without that Roadhog, you're going to be having so much less to stay on the board. Your real mission is just to die on point and see how long you can survive or regroup. Bad YT will be the last one to fall at 25% and counting. That's going to be a full team reset.
Yeah, I mean, the Rock's just such an incredibly strong piece of information, or a piece of util. Because if you're able to follow up on that Rock stun, it's just so much damage coming into you. There's not much you can do. It bypasses almost everything in the game.
The Flux. It would pick up 3. That's absolutely gnarly. Oh my good gravy, Carnage. Showing us why he's one of the best tanks in the freaking league.
Yeah, I mean, really just putting his name to the test there. I mean, Carnage, and he is causing carnage in the spawn side of Ember with that ult hitting 3.
Yes, multiple ultimates coming online now, and I do really like seeing Carnage on the game. You know it's gonna be a good time when Carnage is on the field because he will just absolutely pop off and go absolutely freaking nano. It's your favorite kid has nano available. Medusa has the high noon. We could be seeing a combination of the two ultimates trying to basically escalate the progress of that high noon. Rock used for Carnage. There's the high noon. There's the. Oh my goodness! Able to pick up 3. They were caught off guard. Medusa picks up Carnage as well. That's gonna be 4 for the side of Medusa, who's going absolutely nuts.
Yeah, and I didn't think he was gonna even pick up any there. I thought they were all gonna get out of the way, but I think he got the nano from Ana, allowing him to close those circles on those targets extremely fast. Just allowed him to finish up those kills.
Look at this wall. The hook misses, but Bad YT has the wall available. There it is. It's and he gets rid of the Ant Matrix. It's just Carnage. Can they push through? Can they find the pick? No, they can't. The Immortality Field now available for Carnage to keep him alive, and Seedster has that attack laser. Soundbarrier in response to keep them all up as the whole hog comes through. Nice freeze as well. Picks up 2. It's a beautiful freeze, but nobody's able to be found. Medusa's able to pick up one that holds the freeze, gets in return. It's even bigger. It finds 4. Or not. The Flux finds more. What in the ultimates?
I mean, just everything coming out there. Literally a 10-stack ultimate domino coming out.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're getting on the last fight. Neither team has an ultimate advantage, except for Medusa on the 65% to the high noon. So we could be seeing that built up by some miracle in this last fight, as both teams clocking in 75% and counting here.
Yeah, really gonna be down to Lazy Titan. Gonna try to pull Carnage out of the way. Carnage really gonna be able to stop that high noon coming out from Gina and Medusa.
The damage coming through for Lazy Titan. Stun as well. The amount of pressure coming through from Carnage is absolutely bananas. Holy, you just watch his HP bar get cut in half. But he's in the back line now, along with Medusa. Not able to find anybody in Immortality Field once again from that bad piece. Doing such a good job at shutting down Lazy Titan. So overtime is ticking, and that will be Rush taking the first map. Or
Yeah,
first
I
one,
mean,
brother.
Ember taking the first fight win, but not quite able to convert on that point. Have to see if they do switch it up here. That point I think is probably Sigma's strongest point when it comes to Oasis. Really, his shield kind of reigning supreme over most of those choke points, but not quite as strong on this more open point. Not able to shut down those more narrow sight lines.
I think too, when you take a look at what's really, because that composition, right? And we see Lazy Titan swapping over to the Zarya. That composition relies on the hook getting value, and if Xbox Bubba is just able to throw out Immortality Field every single time, it does such a good job at shutting down that pressure.
Yeah.
Apparently there was an Ajax, which means basically that Lucio wasted the freeze. Wait, so they got frozen in the blizzard? That's kind of crazy. Talk about timing. These Titans taking out lots of pressure here. Already 55% charge. Gonna be just going in. Unafraid. You have to be a Zarya. Look at beautiful wall. Guardian doesn't have the ice wall. He's gonna get found. The Immortality Field from Xbox though. My personal MVP from last season. Your favorite Rocket picks up Gainu eventually, but what pressure coming out here from the side of Ember to start things off as the Immortality Field gets used. And they get the point flip, apparently.
Yeah, indeed they do. Sigma already almost with his ult charged up. I'm not quite sure how that happened.
It's Carnage.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's my only explanation for that.
Yeah, if he's
I don't
able
think
to
they're
get a
gonna
huge flux.
I don't think they're gonna see this one coming.
Yeah, they're not. They don't know he has his ult charged up. They're extremely grouped up right now.
That's able to pick up 3. The bubble not gonna be there to eat the damage. As Seamstress able to pick up Penguin. Medusa gets down low. Carnage able to pick them off eventually. That's 3. Make that now, and it's just Lazy Titan stalling out eventually. Gainu will pick them off, and the point flip will go to Rush.
Yeah, well, still though, 40% from Ember coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what we see from Ember a lot. They start off these points very aggressively. They are able to get to the point. It was they control very, very, very well. And then if the table is turned, they struggle a little bit on getting back on. So we'll have to see if they're able to overcome that. As Lazy Titan once again up to that 55% ult charge and has the grab.
Yeah, the grab could be huge.
Damn, Matrix is there. Oh, and the rock cancels the coalescence. That was massive from Carnage. What a snipe. The M-Matrix scaring everybody away. And another what?
Reflection. I wasn't even looking at his ult bar.
What? How? Carnage?
I mean, usually he's just been farming these.
I am stunned. My man was able to pick up 2 ultimates in the time literally every single other player got 1.
Yeah. I have no idea what happened there. I was not looking at his bar. I saw him fly in the air.
What
No words.
Crackers. I don't even know what to say to that, man. Attack Visor from Twinster is available, but so is the Freeze and High Noon for Medusa. By the way, High Noon comes through, no shield available. Wall there to eat it as well. They're not gonna be able to burst that one through. It does eventually get wasted. Let's force out a few cooldowns though. Medusa, oh my goodness, those rocks from Carnage. They go crazy. The Attack Visor, Teamster on the flank, able to pick up 1, and the remaining members of Ember just not able to close it out at 96% and counting here. That's going to be Rush taking Samoa.
Yeah, I mean, and Carnage just absolutely taking all that space. Forget what I said about Sigma not maybe being as good as on this point. I'm eating my words. Carnage must have heard me speaking and said, you know what? I'm going to show this guy a piece of my mind.
We're actually going to see this play here from Medusa. I believe this is the High Noon on the first point. Yes, it is. Look at this. Unfortunate for the Baptiste, just having to leap into the air right as that High Noon got activated, along with that Nano. Oh, it was beautiful. 4K. Unfortunately, not enough to close up the map, but Ember, they were so strong. And then as soon as Rush is able to loosen that foothold in the point, they're really able to lock it down and force Ember to make a lot of mistakes and force them to not ever get back up to where they were. And then obviously Carnage having twice the ultimate build speed as everybody
Yeah.
else is just I don't. What are you gonna do?
It's not much you can do.
Yeah, first fight, 81%. I mean, at that point, you're just like, yeah, I think Carnage needs to die. But Carnage can die because Xbox Bubba and Guy were there. And I believe Xbox Bubba has the highest healing stats of the entire league. And you wonder why. It's because Carnage is doing the work on that tank and staying alive like crazy. So we're going to be going into the second map here. What can Ember do to shut this down from Rush? What is the play?
I mean, they really need to try to, I think, pick off those supports. Those supports, as you said, just such incredible supports. And between incredible supports, incredible tank, incredible DPS, the supports are really the cornerstone of that team. You're not going to be able to get down a tank who's able to fend for himself already well enough without supports if you already have some great supports trying to keep them up.
110%. And I see we're going into Blizzard World, which I think gives Ember a very solid advantage here with Medusa and Bad YT, both who are hit scan players, both who really like to play that Sojourn Cassidy or the Ashe. I think what we're going to be seeing here is Ember trying to pick off Gainem and Xbox Bubba before they even have a chance to provide the value that they need, which Blizzard World is very good at because of the poke style of that map.
Yeah, 100%. And but we'll see if Carnage once again goes for that Doomfist on that Blizzard World.
I think Rush is starting off on the defense, so it'll be Ember on the attack, if I'm not mistaken. Which again, I think this does still work really because Rush likes to play the Rush style, right?
They
Blizzard
do.
World not
Yep.
known for the Rush, not known for the brawl, not really because of the amount of high ground that's available on that map. Excuse me. So if you're Rush, then, and you know you're going into this with a little bit of a map disadvantage considering your normal style, what do you play?
I mean, I think she could still make Doomfist work on that defense. You're able to get those environmental kills on that first point if you position yourself right. But Sigma also a really, really strong option. And we saw that Sigma being extremely strong coming out the last map. I would not be anywhere near surprised if he continues to play that Sigma.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't fix something that's not broken. But also, we forgot about this. We talked about this at the very beginning of this match. Lazy Titan, or sorry, Carnage, who's not coming up on the ball, question mark, if he sticks to that, was playing an incredible Doomfist on this map. So that is also a high contender. That's fair. We'll do that. Okay. Oh goodness. Where was I at? So we're gonna be looking at this now. Carnage, yeah, picking up that Sigma, and Lisa running in with the ball. I think is gonna have a heck of a time baiting in that Carnage rock.
That is a matter of.
Yeah, and it's really going to come down to if Carnage is able to actually hit those rocks, provides incredible value for him and his team. But if he's missing those rocks, Bad YT is going to be able to swoop in, knowing he can't get hit out of his blade.
Yeah, Bad YT on that Genji. Guy Noob on the Mei, I think, is going to cause a lot of trouble for this team. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Everybody's swapping everything. As we go into the we're fixing spectator issues. It's all good. We're getting back into things. And here we go. Off to the races. Brr, 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 brr.
Excellent. Bubba playing a very nice angle.
Yeah, I think we saw this from them the last time they played on Blizzard World. I really do like this. It basically gives them be at the point until their team rotates to the left-hand side. The regenerative burst now used as Lazy Titan not getting hit by a ball. Carnage not really using it all that much. Does eventually do so.
Oh my goodness.
Gets down to 12 HP. I spoke too soon. I need to stop talking.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, once you use that pound, you're just for a split second, you're extremely vulnerable. If everyone's able to focus fire onto that wall, very strong.
Lisa, and I like doing a good job at maintaining the distance from Carnage though, and really harassing the backline members who do end up getting separated from their tank. Building this one up slowly but surely. Not another nice slam, does not get caught out, has the Mega to retreat, is getting chased down a little bit, surprisingly.
Yeah, and the most thing about the ball is able to hook yourself into this health pack to navigate around the map.
Medusa finds Carnage, that's absolutely massive. That's gonna mean that without that signal, oh my, what a headshot! Medusa going crazy on the Cassidy. We've seen him pop off this entire round on the attack here. They're gonna be shutting down the defense.
An absolutely filthy headshot coming from him, really shutting him down.
Guy who gets down incredibly low, Medusa able to pick it up, and that's gonna be point one captured now. 4 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, so lots and lots of time on that payload to push that on a huge
What a boop! The boop though, the boop from Lazy Titan to peel back, but it's able to pick up Teamster, and that flux that was absolutely massive just gets completely denied. The high noon is about to negate any follow through.
Big rock coming up from the city, we're not able to finish
What a
this Titan
freeze.
off with that.
Sound barrier in time, not gonna be able to save Penguin though, I don't think. The coalescence to follow through, and the sound barrier in return, actually, it's going to be surviving somehow. Sound barrier going to be maintaining basically the power levels, I guess you could say, on both of these teams as the Amp Matrix comes through for the side of Rush. Seamster with that overclocking and putting out so much damage, and will eventually be cleaning this one up.
Lazy Titan somehow still able to get away. Might be able to get those mines up, throw them on the cart to slow them down.
Nice stagger under your favorite Ratkin. It's gonna buy Rush quite a bit of time to set up here. The flux misses. I guess Carnage is just so used to building them up in 30 seconds, he doesn't mind trying to get them on somebody who can just run away.
Yeah, and sometimes this is a really good thing you do. You don't always want to try to save that ultimate for that huge game-winning play of the game there. Sometimes you just want to push them back, but really just get the most value out of it as you can.
Lots of DPS pressure coming out here from the side of Lazy Titan, who, despite fighting against the Sigma, is not dying. Is doing a great job at staying alive and constantly maintaining pressure. 3 minutes on the clock here. Ember's not able to find too many kills though. Bastion now, swapped over from Bad YT. Seems she's gonna be able to pick him up with a very nice right click. Carnage eventually picks up Penguin. I like the Bastion swap here, basically to just run down squishies, but the damage is so strong.
Yeah, and Carnage, as you said, already back up to another flux, because why not? He's gonna throw it out instantly.
He misses somehow. That was impressive. A nice dodge there from Bad YT, who does get staggered out once again. But look at the ultimate charge here for both these teams as well. Slight advantage.
Gonna have some big ults coming out again. Quentin Cold gonna have to make sure to save that beat to navigate around and keep denying Medusas.
They're trapping Lazy Titan, making sure he can't provide any sort of CC support. The Rock comes through, not able to cancel the Coalescence. The Sound Barrier in response to keep the remaining members alive, and Matrix as well, forcing all the damage to that choke point as Lazy Titan tries to build up as much pressure as he can, tries to build up his bombs, tries to destabilize that Matrix, but it's just gonna be Glitch making a very smart decision to hide.
Yeah, and Carnage had already another ult, because why not? You know, why not?
Yes, he does. What the heck
I mean,
is this dude doing? High Noon comes through, not even pick up anybody. Massive, the bomb not quite able to make it there, the Hinder not quite able to make it. Stamberger there to basically negate the Flux though, even though it was able to pick up 5. 1 minute on the clock here. Ember just haven't been able to poke through. Carnage is staying alive for so long. Now, granted, they did take out Extra Lazy Time was able to find that massive pick onto that piece, so they're going to be playing super aggressive here. They're going to be trying to find more picks, trying to clean this one out eventually. Carnage down so low that this gets picked up by Madu, who's gone absolutely feral. But look at the freeze! It's able to pick up 2! It's able to flip around, flip everything around. It's a 3v3 on the point right now. This Titan is still alive. People able to pick up Teacher. Guy Noob is the last one remaining.
Yeah, huge freeze from Guy Noob, able to make up a couple there, but still pushing the payload, still with those mines. Gonna try to get into their spawn and push them out, maybe?
I think the mines are just gonna clear the point here, try to force everybody away, try to make it so that they're gonna be able to capture here. Yep, Carnage gonna be forced to play forward, forced to burn that shield. So the artillery barrage is here, but Penguin gets lasered down. Can the Bastion barrage find anything? It's not able to. There are trades coming through for though. Funtime Colt does eventually fall, who was not able to build up that Stamberger in time. Guy to pick up Medusa. Overtime is ticking down. His rush, find the picks required. It's just Lazy Time on the point, and he doesn't have any cooldowns available to him, including the Flux coming through for the side of Carnage. That will be a second point hold there for the side of Rush.
Yeah, and yeah, that was at least 4 fluxes coming out from Carnage. I think what's happening is he's just hitting multiple people with those explosive rocks, with those orbs coming out. That he's just able to stack up that damage and charge it. And can we get a tab? I want to see how much damage Carnage has.
Can anybody in the chat tab for me? Can we get a Rush versus Ember Carnage Flux counter, please? Or or a montage.
I mean, I have never seen that many fluxes come out in a half of Overwatch. I don't think ever.
Yeah, the fact that that was just half, the fact like that was enough for a whole a whole series, a whole 3-map series. That was enough fluxes for a whole 3-map series, and Carnage built it up in half a map. Yeah, I was gonna say you're not picking Zarya. You're definitely.
I mean, you can tell these two teams are going at it. The amount of aggression from both teams, really hyper aggro, able to stack up those ults so fast.
Yeah, 110%. I think Ember really. I mean, they were kind of struggling to get through the stalwart defensive Rush, right?
Yeah.
For a long time, but with the ability for them to scramble on the high ground, even Lazy Titan was struggling to pick up kills. Once they were able to pick up X-Lux Bubba, though, they finally were able to break through and gain a little bit of distance. We'll have to see if they're able to apply that same principle on the defense here.
Yeah, and oh my god, just running straight in their spawn, trying to get that early edge on Lazy Titan.
He's able to escape, though. I mean, oh, what an anti-nade. Could be massive. Oh, not gonna be able to find anybody, just barely. Seepster does fall, but Carnage is gonna pick up your favorite racket. Without that Ana, you're only gonna be down to the Baptiste healing.
Yeah, Baptiste does able to dish out a lot of healing, though. Not gonna count it out for Penguin.
3.5 minutes on the clock here, as Carnage taking full advantage of the high ground. Lazy Titan's able to pick up extra level, though. Now, support's down low, as it's just gonna be Funtime Cold on that Lucio. But Carnage outputting so much damage.
Yeah, I mean,
and not dying
every run.
Despite the advantage with the supports, it's not going to be enough. You can't take this guy down.
Yeah,
Lazy Titan's going to be on the ball to stall.
He probably will be able to get the mines out here if he so chooses.
No.
Oh. But once you get rocked, there's just no chance.
Once you get rocked, you get sucked. Sorry, I don't know what I mean, it kind of fits. 5 minutes here on the clock for Rush to make it all the way to point 2. If they're able to do that, they will secure the series. I believe Carnage picks up Battle IT, uses the Flux to pick up 3. If he's able to pick up anybody off of that damage as well, it's just going to snowball into this last event here for Ember. Steve's is able to pick up your favorite rat kid.
And Gina Medusa trying to keep them back, trying to get that high noon up.
The Penguin falls. Carnage can't be stopped, and there's nobody there that can really stop him, right? Medusa's trying to stay alive for as long as possible, and they were trying to get those headshots. If they're able to continue clicking that head, they might find some value. What a high noon. Oh, so close being able to pick up 3. Not quite able to do it, though.
Yes,
This is
into
the last
the
fight.
overclock.
Yeah, ultimates being held on to here by Rush, by the way. 4 ultimates as they're waiting for that payload to get closer to the end goal. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, really just racking up the kills, just not letting them regroup.
Sound barrier there.
Adway
Straight to
team.
cancel out the tire. Sound barrier there was to cancel out the tire. Not able to get anything thanks to Immortality from X as well. The supports online for Rush are doing an incredible job of keeping everyone being alive. Still, again, 4 ultimates now. The freeze comes out. The Ant Matrix comes out. It's going to be freezing up Lazy Titan. They're going to be burning him down as quickly as possible. That overclock with the Ant Matrix doing so much damage. The flux comes through. Can anybody survive? Can they touch? The pressure is too much and they will eventually fall.
Yeah, and Rush does take the match.
Play of the game.
Steve Sir with the play of the game.
Yeah, on that Soldier, not seeing the Bastion coming up from Caesar today, but a great showing from the Soldier here as he gets 2.
He picks up a 3rd at the very end here. And that is what started the cataclysmic snowball. The 3 dying there, the tire not getting any value thanks to the sound barrier and the immortality field made it incredibly difficult for Ember to continue holding because Rush had 4 ultimates. They were just able to snowball so well, and it's not like Ember was playing poorly, right?
No.
We saw so many good things from them. Rush just didn't die, and Carnage had like 7 fluxes in that match.
Yeah, I mean, just the ults being used incredibly well, really just to get that zoning effect. You know, no super big ult plays coming out there, but both teams just using the raw mechanics, raw aim, not relying on just those ults to get them fights. Both teams just extreme mechanical skills coming out.
I think that we call this a deceitful 2-0 because it was certainly much closer than that, I feel like, especially in that first map. Now, Rush just kind of took control of Blizzard World, especially with the defense there initially on their defense. And we're just able to run away with it. But it was a well-played game. It's going to bring Rush up to the number 1 seed is Cosmics on a bye week. So that is going to be putting Rush at the official 5-1 number 1 seeding standard. And man, Ember looks so close to being so freaking strong. Like the fact that this team is 1-4 blows my brain.
Yeah, I mean, definitely saw improvements throughout the season. I mean, those, some of those games they previously lost definitely could have been much closer, even won now, putting up a really strong fight against Russia. And as you said, that 2-0 on paper sounds like, it wasn't really a close fight, but you watch the match, Ember putting up an extremely resistant fight against Russia. And despite not taking the win, definitely gave it their all.
110%. 110%. Well, that is going to conclude tonight's matches. Once again, my name is Murph. I was joined by Sky, and thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank you guys so much for supporting all the players. So thank you so much for supporting the stream. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So I am very grateful. And that concludes this week's matches. This would technically be the end of the regular season, but don't forget, we have a makeup week next week where it's going to be Cosmic versus Rush and Ember versus Glitch. So we will see you guys for one last week in the regular season before heading into the grand finals. Peace out.